So tonight, everybody, you've got a couple of short stories that you need to read for tomorrow's class. I've got them on the whiteboard over here. So you have to read Telltale Heart and Monkey's Paw.
Finally done reading. We'll start with Telltale Heart, and I did static characters. And I think it's the policeman because they came into the old man's house to investigate and just ask questions about what happened. They didn't really do anything to change their personality or change their main mission.
Yeah, okay, so I did symbolism, and for the Telltale Heart, I think that the symbolism in this story would be the beating of the old man's heart under the floorboards. And the beating of the heart represents the main character's growing guilt, because as the beating gets louder, his guilt gets bigger.
I had dynamic characters, and who I think is a dynamic character is the main character, the dude who kind of kills the other dude by smothering him with a pillow. He wants to kill him at the start, but closer to the end, at the end, he confesses, so I think that kind of shows how he changed with the beating of the heart.
I did conflict, and I said toward the end of the story, the man is fighting with himself to stay calm. It's an internal conflict. He can hear all these sounds, and he's psyching himself out. He tells himself to keep quiet so the cops don't suspect him, but in the end, he gives in.
Let's move on to The Monkey's Paw by W.W. Jacobs.
Alright, we all done?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So what I saw was, when the paw, twisted in his hand after he made the first wish, that'd be, some sort of personification type thing, or maybe the horrible thing sitting on top of the dresser, watching him pocket his ill-gotten gains. I don't think that's really a human thing. It's doing something human. This is all probably taking place at their house, which is in the middle of nowhere. Maybe.
Okay. I'm not sure if this is right. I had dynamic characters, so I thought the dad, Mr. White, was a dynamic character because at kind of when he got the paw, he was excited about making wishes and stuff. But then at the end, he just wanted everything to be back to normal, I guess. And he wished the guy away, probably because the guy disappeared after he made the wish. So that's just what I think.
Yeah, I think maybe he did that because he saw what he did earlier wasn't really right. He wanted to just go back and make sure that everything was the way it was supposed to be and not mess anything else up.
That makes sense.
Good for you, Stone.
I did static characters. I think this is right. I think the soldier was a static character because he just came around with the monkey's paw, and he told them that it was bad to believe in superstitions, but they didn't believe him. But he kept on convincing them that it wasn't good, so he didn't change at all.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fine, I'll share something because I have to. I saw some boring imagery in The Monkey's Paw. In the brightness of the wintry sun next morning, as it steamed over the breakfast table, Herbert laughed at his fears. There was an air of prosaic wholesomeness about the room which it had lacked on the previous night, and the dirty, shriveled little paw was pitched on the sideboard with a carelessness which betokened no great belief in its virtues. I thought that was pretty well worded. And then for foreshadowing at the beginning of the story, I thought that the father will wish for something with the paw that he truly doesn't need because he just seems like a greedy and unfair guy and probably just wish for money or jewels or something like that.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's so lazy.
It's not my fault Monkey's Paw is stupid and boring. Hurry up.
It's like a 10-page story.
I found it. Okay, so when I read this story, I was looking through it, and I think that the mood of it is like intense and it's sneaky and serious, because in one of the parts I found a quote that goes, "I'm ready to fight because, like I said, I don't feature a whole lot of chit-chat. I'd much prefer to just knock you down from the jump and save everybody a lot of precious time." It really shows that how like she's kind of angry and she just wants to get things her way, and it shows how that's kind of like a serious kind of vibe, I guess, in the mood.
This is mood, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so I had symbolism again, and I thought it was actually kind of hard to find it for the story. And all I can really find is like the daydream she has, where she's like kind of running and then flying over beaches. I think that's kind of like representing what she would do with her life if she wasn't like tied down by Raymond, other family stuff, and her age. Like she would just go off somewhere where she can do whatever she wants.
Wait. Wouldn't Raymond be like type of symbolism? Just like I'm just saying, like maybe he might be just like an obstacle. Maybe that might be a symbolism.
That works, yeah.
Alright,
Creative way of thinking.
Yeah.
I have a point of view, and I think it's first person from Raymond's sister, because this story starts off like, I don't have much work to do around the house like some girls. My mother does that, and I don't have to earn my pocket money by hustling. So I think it's first person, and it was Raymond's sister.
That's right. Yeah. Jeremy.
What?
You guys done yet?
Yeah.
Let's go, Ethan.
All right. So for Flowers for Algernon, I think the setting would probably mostly be either at the lab or at or in the maze, or at his work in the factory place, or one of the doctor's offices, Dr. Strauss, or something like that.
Yeah, well, it was also at his job, like
yeah,
where he
it's
works.
at the factory.
Yeah, and also at the bar for a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else anybody has to add?
Anyone else have something to
Jeremy
add?
should go next.
Jeremy? Yeah, Jeremy.
Oh, you want me to read?
Yeah.
Fine.
See what you got.
Come on,
Okay,
Jeremy.
so I found some kind of interesting imagery in Flowers for Algernon. Here it is. I have often reread my progress reports and seen the illiteracy, the childish the mind of low intelligence peering from a dark room, through the keyhole, at the dazzling light outside. I see that even in my dullness, I knew that I was inferior, and that the others had something I lacked.
That's intense.
Pretty good
That's
imagery.
really good example of imagery.
You're a good reader.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
Yeah, you read so expressively, so eloquently.
It's actually kind of surprising.
Very good example.
There was also some foreshadowing I saw in Flowers for Algernon, unfortunately. I think that the doctors will be able to cure Charlie, but that it won't last in the end. I think his decline will have something to do with the stuff he cares about, like the dumb rat named Algernon, or the weird lady Miss Kane, or some stupid thing like that in this stupid story.
Okie dokie.
Well, in
Well, what about
Flowers-
the rat dying, Algernon dying? Was that
I didn't
predicting his death?
I didn't really think that that was a clear plot point. I didn't know Algernon was gonna die.
Yeah, that was more of a
Yeah,
surprise
that
to
was
the
very
audience.
shocking.
That was a surprise, but then
Yeah.
Like
But after
irony.
that happened,
the
yeah.
results of what
That could be
he.
Yeah, he
irony.
would die very soon because
I don't know
they're
if that's
like-
irony.
That's what happened to
I think
the lab
that's
rat.
just like a twist, or
Okay.
after there everything started going downhill.
Maria, do you want to say anything?
Yeah. Well, I found some dramatic irony in Flowers for Algernon, and I found it ironic when Algernon, the little white mouse, died, because the audience didn't expect that, and they also didn't expect the relationship between Algernon, the mouse, and Charlie, because they both went through the same lab experiment. So that's what I thought in irony.
Okay, so let's move on to Rules of the Game by Amy Smith.
Okay, I'll go first. So I have point of view, and it's first person, and it's first person, and it's Waverly's point of view.
I guess.
I And the setting, it was in Chinatown in San Francisco, I found out. And for personification, there was the impatient gathering of gurgling pigeons. Thought that would be some sort of human type thing. And when she said absorb the power each chess piece contained, but chess piece can't really contain power. So that's how I thought.
That's a good example.
Yeah.
For conflict, I said that Waverly always seems to think that her mother is in her way and that she expects too much of her. And over time, I can tell that Waverly is getting kind of tired of the way her mom acts around her. And this conflict really made everyone upset in the story, and it ended in a way that no one really knows how it was solved. Because Waverly just goes to her room and shuts the door.
Yeah, I agree. And I can kind of relate to
Yeah,
it.
she kind of got like disowned.
Yeah.
Disowned.
Okay.
Okay, well, for irony, when I was looking through, I found situational irony. Basically, when the main character, the little girl, spoke out to the mom about her feelings towards her mom using her as like a bragging point, sort of, and using her for her amazing chess skills. I think the audience kind of saw this coming, and I guess that's another type of foreshadowing, but that's a bit off the subject. But yeah, that's what I found ironic when the girl finally spoke up.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay. So is that it?
We expected her to be her mother's pawn. In the end,
Pawn. Oh, that's.
Okay, guys, we're done. Let's finish
Jeremy, oh. Let's go.
The part with the turn it off, well, you really should have it.
You know what? I like all these short stories. Maybe I kind of like literature.